Welcome everyone. This is Module 1. Module 1 Introduction. Module Objectives. At the end of this module, you will be able to know briefly about the Indian skill development sector and importance of training Indian youth. Understand the job role of a trainer and know about her or his roles and responsibilities and evaluate your role as a trainer. Know the importance of and conduct ice-breaking sessions. Indian skill development sector. According to Goldman Sachs, a leading US consulting organization, India is projected to become the third largest economy in the world by the year 2040. You can see the image on the screen to understand more. India on track to become the world's largest economy. India's GDP will surpass that of USA by 2050. You can see the graph's image on the screen to understand more. Main drivers of India's economic growth. The momentum of a quarter of a century of strong economic growth. A much more open economy to external trade and investment. Growing middle class fueling domestic consumption. Strong Indian companies in a modernized capital market. Recent and ongoing economic reforms. Supportive international economic environment. The demographic dividends of a young population. Advantage Young India. In 2020, the average Indian will be only 29 years, 37 in China and the US, 45 in the Western Europe, 48 in Japan. India will have a very young population in 2020, the largest in the world. From 2010 to 2020, India will have the largest increase in working population, far higher than China, US and Europe put together. You can see the image on the screen to understand more. Demographic dividend of India versus China. You can see the image on the screen to understand this concept better. Large pool of Indian graduates. Indian economy has the second largest pool of graduate population ready to make their mark. Graduates in India will increase drastically by 2020. Large pool of Indian graduates continued. You can see this graphics image on the screen to understand this concept and data better. India. Potential to feed into the global skills demand. By 2020, while US, China, Japan and Russia will have a combined shortfall in working age group of 42 million people, India will have 47 million surplus people. You can see this image on the screen to understand the better. Importance of skill development. Skill development involves experience, ability, growth, advanced training, knowledge, learning, competence, training. Importance of skill development. The Indian economy, to achieve high growth rates with a growing population, skill development has emerged as an important aspect that needs strategic and planned policy cum intervention. India's emergence as a potential economic and social power rests on the Indian youth. The Skills Development Initiative in our country is designed to leverage potential of the youth population by developing their employability skills. This will ensure that Indian enterprises remain globally competitive based on the growth trends of various industrial segments and enable our youth to avail these opportunities. However, the challenge remains in developing right skill sets among the youth and matching global standards with relevance to both local and global job markets. Under this context, Government of India has undertaken a target of creating 500 million skilled workforce in India by 2022. The new government in India has set up a separate skill development ministry with a vision to drive the skill development agenda. Skill ecosystem in India. Key bodies: Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Other central government ministries. Enablers: NSDA, NSDC, SSDM, SSCs. Others: financial institutions, etc. Implementing bodies: A. Training: ITI, government and private, VTPs, TPs, IA. Universities or colleges or schools, captive training institutes of employers. B. Assessment. Beneficiaries: unemployed youth, low income groups, marginalized societies, college students, school students, working employees for upskilling. National Skills Qualification Framework NSQF. Skills system in India. Key bodies: central government ministries. Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. New ministry set up in June 2014. Ministry of Human Resource Development, responsible for implementing skills project in colleges and schools. Ministry of Rural Development, implementing the Ajivika project, now called Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushal Vikas Yojana, with focus on rural BPL youth. Other ministries: Ministry of Urban Affairs, Textiles, Tourism, Minority Affairs, Tribal Affairs, etc., with segment specific projects. Skills system in India. Enablers: National Skill Development Authority NSDA. NSDA is an autonomous body which will coordinate and harmonize the skill development efforts of the government and the private sector. National Skill Development Corporation NSDC is a one-of-its-kind public-private partnership in India. It aims to promote skill development by catalyzing creation of large quality for-profit vocational institutions. NSDC is not for-profit company set up by the Ministry of Finance under Section 25 of the Companies Act. Government of India holds 49% while the private sector has the balance 51% share in the NSDC. State Skill Development Missions SSDM, set up by state to facilitate skill development by being the nodal department for coordinating between the central government schemes and state level departments. Sector Skill Councils SSCs, discussed in detail in the next few slides. Others, financial institutions, laws governing employees, etc. Objective of Sector Skills Councils. Sector skill councils are important stakeholders in the Indian skilling ecosystem, set up with the following major objectives. Identification of skill development needs for a sector. Development of a sector skill development plan and maintain skill inventory. Determining skills or competency standards and qualifications. Standardization of affiliation and accreditation process. Participation in affiliation, accreditation, examination and certification. Plan and execute training of trainers. Promotion of academies of excellence. Establishment of a well-structured sector-specific labor market information system, LMIS. Employment opportunities in the Indian skill system. In the coming years, work in the skill development space will significantly increase, resulting in multiple employment opportunities, exciting career prospects as trainers, assessors, training center managers, outreach executives, content developers, admin and support staff, etc. Opportunities for trainers. As skill development on a large scale takes off, implementing agencies will face challenges of the skill development value chain. Global competition and thrust on efficiency and quality improvement will demand qualified and certified trainers in the industry. These challenges can be addressed to a large extent by creating cadres of competent trainers to deliver quality training, capacity building of the trainers, their career path, and a robust policy support framework. Current crisis. Lack of standardization of eligibility criteria for trainers both at entry and advanced levels. Trainers possess technical skills but lack teaching skills, soft skills, and entrepreneurship development skills. Training institutes prefer trainers who can impart both theory and practical training. Shortage of training infrastructure to ensure continuous and regular skill development of trainers. Trainer's knowledge has to be contemporary for him to be relevant. Methods of evaluation and assessment of trainers lack standardization. Certification and accreditation mechanism for trainers is lacking. Train the trainer initiatives. 1. Equip potential and existing trainers with technical skills, teaching skills, soft skills, and entrepreneurship development skills. 2. Create a sector-wise trainers database leading to a further creation of competent trainers pool. A comprehensive information system on trainers, TIS, is proposed to be created for SSCs. 3. Standardize assessment and evaluation of trainers by designing and standardizing assessment parameters and introduce periodicity for assessment and evaluation of trainers. Training as a profession. The main reasons for choosing training as a profession include social respect, self-esteem, gaining work experience, comfortable environment, and good salaries. Work towards contributing in building someone else's career. Career path of a trainer. You can see this image on the screen to understand this process better. Roles, responsibilities, and skills of a trainer. Roles and responsibility. Subject matter specialist. Required skills. planning and making presentations, communication, receiving and giving feedback. Role: facilitator of the learning process. Required skills: communicating and motivating using various training methods like making presentations, using group process for facilitating participating, receiving and giving constructive feedback, conducting role play sessions, using case studies to explain concepts. Role: manager. Required skills: coordinating work of those associated with the program delivery, decision making, mobilization of resources and financial management, public relations, general administration. Role: developer of an individual. Required skills: communication, interpersonal relations, using group process for individual development, coaching. Role: leader of the group. Required skills: handling difficult situations in the program, communication, crisis intervention or conflict resolution, interpersonal relations. Key qualities of a good trainer: has an excellent command on the trainer's manual and its content, enjoys working with people, has the ability to read an audience and understand their reactions, communicates clearly and expressively. Makes concise points and displays appropriate level of energy, maintains objectivity, demonstrates professionalism and self-confidence, has flexibility and is creative, has understanding of nuances and local issues, has good speaking skills, has knowledge of how to hold the audience without dominating or controlling them, is open to different views and opinions, has the ability to resolve and clarify through discussions, listens actively and is attentive, is authentic and demonstrates personal integrity, is non-judgmental, responds non-defensively to challenge, willing and able to commit to the preparation and delivery time for the successful implementation of any training. Understanding the how-to of a training. The trainer needs to be able to help the participants learn in a stimulating, enjoyable and motivating way, which can be achieved by using these methods. 1. Keep sessions short. 2. Focus on a maximum of 3 to 4 key learning points per session. 3. Find ways to make the sessions fun or interesting, especially when dealing with heavy content. 4. Use visual aids, pictures, symbols and signs to help participants understand what is being taught. 5. Be well prepared with all the materials, handouts and aids needed. 6. Carefully pre-plan the session flow and methodology, but remember, one must be ready to adapt. 7. Arrive early in order to set up the space to be used. Example of how to run an introduction in a training. Introduction. Meet your trainer. Meet each other. Norms and logistics. Goals. Why are we here? Meet each other. Your name and age. Your area of residence. An animal you are feeling like, curious like a puppy, powerful like a tiger, etc. Norms. Living our values. Intensive listening. How will we work together to create a change? Respecting time. Time is the most important resource. Respect each other. Foundation of building better relationship. Participate and giving everyone a chance to do the same. Putting phones on silent mode. Ask questions. Be honest, open and willing to learn. Have fun. Conduct ice-breaking sessions. Its importance. In any training program, participants come from different backgrounds. Besides being introduced, it is important that they feel comfortable with each other. Ice-breaking sessions are important to achieve these objectives. It helps participants to know each other better. It helps in making a homogeneous and harmonious group. It helps to create warmth and initial friendship between the participants. Ice-breaking session should be fun and ideally involve some physical activity or games. It also helps the trainer build a quick rapport with the trainees or participants. It also helps to set ground rules for this session to be productive without giving it top-down approach. Conducting an ice-breaking session. An example. As shared earlier, it is ideal to do a physical activity in an ice-breaking session. An example of such an activity is shared below. Ball of wool activity. This activity is done to introduce the training participants. Get the participants in a circle, take a ball of wool and let any of the participant start the game with introducing himself and then passing the ball of wool to another who introduces himself. It continues like this till all the participants get covered. A beautiful web of wool gets made. The trainer says that this is our training web. Also, you should say that we should always stay alert during the training. Then it will be a tight and effective training session like our training web. Example of an ice-breaking session. Deconstruction. The trainer will show different pictures to the participants and ask what they see. These pictures with complicated ideas will help participants to open up their minds and push their limits to think and plan creatively throughout the training. This activity can be used in a situation where the trainer is not able to let the participants engage with each other through a physical icebreaker. You can see the image on the screen to understand it better. Example of an ice-breaking session, deconstruction. See this beautiful image on the screen to understand the process better. You can see the image on the screen to understand the deconstruction better. Conducting an ice-breaking session. Note for trainer. Being the first session of the training, this carries particular importance in terms of building a rapport with the participants and setting the tone for the training. Trainer would need to participate in the activity in case of an odd number of participants. The group can be more actively engaged if there is enough space is available for everyone to walk around and role play. Sharing the objectives is an important step and must be done in a way that participants can relate it to their everyday lives. Example of the process a trainer can follow. Welcome. Short overview of training sessions. What are they about? Learning outcomes of each session, etc. Introductions. Everyone present, including the trainer, introduces themselves. And the trainer makes sure a list of participants is maintained. Trainer checks on participants' expectations or hopes of the training session. End sessions by checking if participants are able to answer learning questions related to the training topic. Asking participants to share if the sessions have gone well, example, by putting a tick mark against a face on a chart. Smiley. Session has gone well, I have learned something new. Smiley. Session has been okay, I could have learned more. Smiley. Session has not gone well for me, I haven't learned anything much.
Important points while conducting a training session. To help to break the monotonousness of the session for the participants, trainer needs to maintain a high level of energy. It is important to try and create an environment that is conducive to open discussion where there are no judgments being made. Situations of conflict may occur. It is up to the trainers to intervene, seeking to establish a consensus and respect for different opinions. The work should endeavor to go as deep as possible, moving beyond the standard politically correct discourse. Activities that require physical contact can and should be with the choice of participating or not, respecting each person's limits. It is recommended that physical and/or movement activities be included to ensure a high level of energy and attention being maintained. Thank you and all the best.